In front of me here, I have Chihiros Series C 201 Nano LED lights and the Commander 1 Bluetooth wireless module. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the lights and the Bluetooth wireless module. We're going to set everything up. We're going to test them all out. And at the end of the video, I'll give you guys my honest opinion on Chihiros' cheapest and smallest LED lights. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, and yes, I bought some new lights. These are from Chihiros. Obviously, as I mentioned, I do want to be clear from the very beginning, this video is not sponsored or endorsed by Chihiros. I bought these with my own money, so I'll give you guys obviously my honest opinion on these, and if anything doesn't seem to be as it seems or doesn't look that nice or whatever and so on and so forth, I'll obviously show you guys and tell you all about it. For a few years now, I've been using lights from Aquael. Those are the Leddy 5-watt smart plant lights. I have them here on my half moon tank, and I also have them here on my Beta Nano Cube. Absolutely love the lights, and unfortunately one of the clips broke on the lights behind me here on the half moon tank. The light always keeps falling into the water, and yes, that's why I got some new lights. We are obviously not going to be comparing these lights to the lights from Aquael. We are only going to be focusing on the lights of Chihiros, so let's get started. Starting with the box, very simple, and I quite like that. I'm obviously interested what is inside, and I don't really need a fancy box, but I do like the sticker that is going around the box. You got the light displayed on the front here. You got obviously the C series from Chihiros, and quite a nice little aquascape on the front with some lush plants. On one of the sides, exactly the same thing with a QR code that'll most probably take you to their webpage. Didn't test it out. If you guys want to go check it out, there's the QR code. On the other side, just some lush plants and saying obviously that this is for the EU market. And then on the back, we have all of the details on the light, the things that we are most interested in. Chihiros says on the back here that yes, this light should be used for 20 centimeter tanks. I'm going to be using the lights for a bigger tank. Then you got the light diameters on here, with width being 140 millimeters, depth being 40 millimeters, and height being 5 millimeters. Glass thickness for these lights is 8 millimeters, which my tanks should be fine with. The light has 18 LEDs in it. These are only white LEDs, so no blue, green, or red. So there's no RGB. It is just white light. These LED lights are 7 watts, so there's nothing smaller than that Chihiros provides. But 7 watts for nano tanks is more than enough. And they say on the back here still luminous flux of 689 lumens. Now I am no light expert, so lumen and lux don't really tell me much at all, but I did read up online that Chihiros lights, they are extremely bright for the power that they have, and well, that's what I'm definitely looking for. I need a little bit more light power than my other lights, and I also did read up that the color spectrum of these lights is 8500 Kelvin, so it's going to have quite a blue-white hue to it, which I very much like. All of my lights here in my living room are cool white lights, though the max that I have on all of my lights here I think is 6500 Kelvin, so I'm quite interested to see on how blue these are going to be, but everything should most probably look quite crisp and clean and clear. So looking very much forward to actually setting these up. But let's actually open up the box, get the light out, and take a look of what's inside. Then we can slowly but surely set everything up. With the LED commander, well, not really much to say. Just a very small little box that houses the Bluetooth connector. And this I will show you guys a little bit later. It's going to connect between the power brick and the light. But let's get the light unboxed, and then we can start playing around with everything else. there we go. I got the light, the power brick, and the Commander 1 out of their box and packaging. And as usual, you got your instruction manuals. I am going to put them aside. I would say that I'm not going to really need them. For the light, definitely not. For the Commander module, you also don't really actually need it. So let's just chuck that stuff to the side. And well, here we have the light, and I'm quite impressed already. You guys can't really see on my black shirt, but yeah, it is quite small and quite slim and quite sleek, and compared to all of the other lights that I have, this is quite compact and it is quite sleek, something that I really do like. I'm quite impressed with the light so far. I live in Germany, and well, they put stickers onto everything. These are a guarantee warranty sticker, and it says do not remove. On the light, I'm definitely going to remove the sticker because I don't want this to be visible on my light at all time. For the power brick, something completely normal. You got a nice long cable, and the quick disconnector is actually pretty cool. Once you actually put these together, you can actually screw them down tight, and it actually has a rubber O-ring on the inside here that'll actually make it waterproof. So that is actually quite cool. I'm not going to demonstrate, but here you just screw it down and you can lock it in place, so it actually also just won't disconnect by itself if you do tug around on the cables a little bit, which is actually quite a cool little feature. But we're not going to connect the light to the power brick yet, since we also have the Commander 1 module, also quite a small little module. Nothing really fancy here. This only connects via Bluetooth, so there's no Wi-Fi connection. So if you want to set your lights, you have to obviously be close to the module and connect via Bluetooth. But again, same principle here as well. You have a rubber O-ring with a screw cap to connect the Commander 1 to the power cables and, well, completely close it off and make it watertight. So that is pretty cool as well. And yeah, that's about it. Nothing really much. I'm going to get all of the lights off on the half moon tank, and then I'm going to, well, unbox the second one still, and then I'm going to set everything up, and then we can start playing around with the app and then see how the lights compare to the old ones, and hopefully they're going to be much brighter. That is the hope. But let me connect everything up and I'll be back with you again. So when I was unboxing the other light, this fell out of the package of the power brick, and this is actually the manual connector that you actually put between the power brick and the LED light, where you have a plus and minus button and a mode button, so you can actually set different modes and, well, the brightness of the light. And yeah, I only have one of these. In the first box that I unboxed, I didn't actually get one of these with the light, so I do need to actually have a look and see if this, well, is supposed to actually even be in the box, or if I should actually have two of these. And I'm pretty sure that I should actually have two of these. I'm a bit confused about this. And well, if I should have two of these, then one was actually not packaged. So yeah, not really a nice thing, especially if the light doesn't actually work with this. But since I do have the Commander 1 Bluetooth controller that goes between the power brick and the light, that means that I can obviously use the functions of the light wirelessly. And yeah, so that kind of sucks that I only have one of these and that one is missing. Okay, got the lights connected and both of them onto the tank. I got the app installed, so let's start playing around with all of the features that come with the Controller 1. All we need to do is just open up the My Chihiros app, and well, we got quite a few options at the very bottom here already. We got tank, to-do, ideas, smart device, and settings. And I'm going to start off with the tank and actually add in, well, this tank right here. And well, the name of the tank is the Half Moon tank. So just add that. There we go. It's the Half Moon tank. All I need to do now is hit next. It's going to ask you what's the idea behind this tank, but I'm going to skip all of that. Tag your plants. You can add all of your plants. I'm going to skip all of that as well. What materials have you used? I'm going to skip all of that as well. And then more details about the tank, I'm going to skip that as well. We're going to hit confirm, and there we have our tank. Now we actually need to connect the lights, and for that we're going to go to devices and hit the plus sign. it's going to search away for the devices, and there we go. Both C's have popped up, which are both Commander 1s. So let's hit on the 1. And well, there's the first one. I'm going to say confirm and call it light 1. Now that we have named the light, we need to add it to a tank. I only have one tank added here, so half moon tank it is. And then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go back to devices again, press the plus again, and then it's going to search for the second Commander 1. And now you can see only one C pops up, so that is the second one. We're going to hit confirm. We're going to call this one light 2 and add it to the half moon tank as well. And now once we scroll down, we can see that light 1 and light 2 are added to the tank, and now we can actually go into the settings and start playing around with all of the light settings. So all we need to do is just tap onto our light 1, and there we have 3 different options on how to set our light. We have the manual setting where you can set your light intensity the way that you like. 38% for instance now, we can go 91%, or we can just switch it off altogether. Then we have the auto section. If we click onto that, we can add an automation. It's very, very simple. You can just set the time however you please, and you can also add a ramp up on how many hours you also would like. But I am very, very interested in the customizable section. And here we have an entire time chart of hours. And in the customizable section, we can add a ramp up and also a ramp down, which is pretty cool. And in order to start, we just tap onto the graph and it'll bring up the time. Now I would like the light to switch on at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I press done. Now I do need to ramp the light up to 100% and ramp it all the way back down to 0% just to actually set this time for 0%. Then for the next setting, I would like the light to ramp up until 1 o'clock afternoon. So we set it to 1 o'clock, and I just set it all the way to 100%, and we can already see the graph going upwards. Now I want the light to be at 100% for a few hours. So let's just say 7 o'clock in the evening, and set it to 7, and then ramp it all the way up to 100% again. And we have 100% for a few hours set throughout the day. Then I would like the light to switch off at 9 o'clock at night. We set it to 9 o'clock, and we ramp the light all the way down to 0 again. And now we have our graph all set up for the light. If you want to see how all of this might look like or how it might work, we just hit the preview button and it'll start ticking away throughout the hours of the day. Once we get to 8 o'clock, the light switches on. It's going to ramp up in intensity, get to its 100% intensity, stay like that. And I find that such a cool little feature. All I need to do now is just set that on the light 2 as well. We go to the customize menu. Again, we would like the light to switch on at 8 o'clock. I ramp the light up to 100, set it all the way back down to 0, just to indicate that this is going to be the start. Ramp the light up all the way till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Put it to 100%. Leave it at 100% till 7 o'clock at night. And then switch the light back off at 9 o'clock at night. And then we just hit preview, and now the light 2 should do exactly the same as light 1. And there we go, it switches on, it's ramping up. It's going to get to 100% and just stay there. And then once we get to 7 o'clock at night, it's just going to slowly ramp down again. And there we go. I'm just going to save this as L2, confirm it. Go back to light 1. I'm going to save this as L1, confirm it. And well, there we go. Both lights are set. They should both switch on at 8 o'clock, ramp all the way up till 1 o'clock, stay on throughout the day at 100%, and then slowly but surely ramp themselves back down at 7 o'clock and switch off at 9 o'clock. I've had the lights for a few days now, and I still played around with the app still a little bit. There's, though, not much still to do in the app, instead of just trying to optimize the amount of light that the lights produce. And in the end, I did remove them from the half moon tank and added them to my beta cube over here. I did put both lights onto this tank, and it has completely transformed the look of this tank, so I'm very, very pleased with that. But unfortunately, yeah, they were just not as strong as the old lights on the half moon tank. Though, let's quickly talk about the pros and cons about these lights, and I'll start off with the cons, and there aren't really any cons. The only problem that there is a me problem, and well, I bought the wrong lights, unfortunately. Now, as you saw, I did intend to use these lights on the half moon tank, though unfortunately I bought the wrong lights. As I said, I should have actually bought the C301 lights and not the 201 lights. The C301 lights, they are actually 30 centimeters long, or meant for 30 centimeter tanks. These are only meant for up to 20 centimeter tanks. And as you can see, that these lights are just not long enough for the half moon tank. The half moon tank on its deepest part, I think, is roughly around about 32 centimeters. The C201s only being 17 centimeters long is just not going to cover the entire tank with light. So yeah, that is just a me problem. Otherwise, the lights are just absolutely amazing, and I'm going to start with the pros, and the first one there is definitely the price. Now, I paid for a single light, I think 35 euros, and for the Commander one Bluetooth wireless connector, I paid 25 euros. For a single light and for the Bluetooth connector only being 70 euros, that is actually quite cheap, and all the other C-series lights are actually also extremely cheap for what you get. So yes, this light is pretty short and it's meant for a very small nano tank. It does pack quite a punch for the price that you actually have to pay for it, and you also get quite good quality. The main housing of the light is actually made out of aluminium, and the rest is made out of plastic, which is quite sturdy, and it makes the light pretty robust. Then as we go down the cable, one thing that I just absolutely really love are these connectors here on the cable, especially that you can actually tighten them down and make a waterproof seal with the rubber O-ring on the inside. That is actually quite ingenious, and it is an absolute godsend to just unscrew the cable, disconnect it from the power brick, and you only need to pull this out behind the cupboard and don't need to move the entire cupboard to actually get the power brick out. So these connectors I really do like. All of my other lights, they're just straight connected to the power brick, and it's always a pain trying to move the cupboard to move the light. Another nice little feature as well is that the power brick itself actually has a power indicator light. That actually just shows you that there is actually electricity going through the system. So if your light does fail and the indicator light is still on, it's most probably a good sign that your light has failed. And if the light is not on and the little indicator light on the power brick isn't on, then most probably the power brick has failed, and through that you can somewhat try and find the problem. But it's a nice little feature just to show you that everything is actually on and also working, especially if your lights aren't working. Then I just quickly need to address the manual connector. I did go through the instruction manual in both boxes, and in neither of the instruction manuals or on the boxes itself did it actually say that you actually get one of these with the lights. So either the manual connector somehow ended up in one of my boxes and should have not been there, or one is missing. I'm not exactly sure about that, so I'm just going to ignore that. But I do have one manual connector. It works perfectly fine. The dimming function works, and the mode button literally just switches the light on and off. And then we get to the Bluetooth controller and to the whole app function. And the whole app is an absolute pleasure to use. It is really friendly. It is really fleshed out. It is just such a joy to actually, well, scroll through the app to connect all of your lights. It is so simple with the Bluetooth connection. It just finds the Commander one instantly. You just connect it to your phone. You have 3 different modes to set your lights in. Obviously, I chose the custom one with the ramp up and ramp down mode, which I really like. That gives you so much flexibility of what range of light intensity you want to actually have on your tank and for how long you want it. And once you set it, you can walk away and it's just going to stay like that forever. All in all, the Chihiros C-series lights, they are quite amazing. They're pretty damn cool. I also love that the light is so sleek. Once it's on your tank, you got a lot of space to work around it. It is not as chunky as other lights. And in my opinion, if you do want to get yourself a new lighting system, definitely go check out the Chihiros C-series lights. They are pretty awesome. I am, however, going to get myself the Chihiros C301s. They're going to be way better than these for the half moon tank, but I'm keeping both of these lights as well. They're going to stay on the better tank for now, and they might also come in handy in future projects. That wraps it up. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Tell me what your guys' thoughts are on the Chihiros C-series lights and the Commander one. If there are any differences with the German model compared to the model that you might have around the world, depending on where you're from. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell not to miss out on future content. There is still lots to come, and well, I would say I'll catch you in the next one.